Hey everybody, I'm Tony George from DocSports.com. Your Friday free pick update. We're going to be talking Braves and Rockies. We'll tell you what's going on over at the website, what happened yesterday when we get the free play out of the way for you, and reiterate the new podcast that is coming out here in July. So stay tuned for that if you missed out on that announcement the other day. That being said, when you're handicapping Colorado at home, the first handicap you do is not the game, but the total. And you want to find reasons to take unders there if you can, because it's an over ballpark. It's a hitter's ballpark. Games go over like crazy. So you want to look at the handicap because the odds makers get carried away with the number 11 and a half. I put out the over yesterday on a podcast I did with Joe Madden. You may have heard of her. But nonetheless, and I said, if you like chalk, lay $1.55 of Atlanta in that game as well on that podcast. I retweeted that. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at TGeorgeSports. I announce all that stuff, put out some free plays there as well that you don't find on these videos at TGeorgeSports over at Twitter. Give me a follow, give me some love. But nonetheless, if you take a look at tonight's game, the total's sitting at 11. Braves and Rockies going at it again. It's interesting to note that the Colorado Rockies in their last 3 games have given up 39 runs. Now, you got to lay $1.15 for the over 11. I looked for reasons to handicap to take the under. Couldn't find them. Taking the over in this game tonight. I know Max Fried's on the hill for Atlanta. Good southpaw. Problem is, Colorado's hitting southpaws their last 5 games is .387 as a team. And Atlanta's bullpen's mid-4s on ERA. Colorado's bullpen's well over 5 on ERA their last 5. And they're sitting cool to the hill, and he's a righty. He puts runners on base, and he's got a decent ERA. But Atlanta can hit right-handed pitchers. It's going to be another high-scoring game. Tell you that right now. I would think Atlanta could get at least to 8. Last night, would they get 13? Colorado will pitch in some as well because they can hit southpaw pitchers good. Take the over, 11. Free play tonight. Your free play last night in the NBA won. Matter of fact, your free picks have been on a roll here. Free pick won last night on the over. Unfortunately, and I tell it like it is, that's why we're going to talk about the podcast. I tell it like it is. I had Golden State big. They had them in the palm of their hands. Golden State's one of the best fourth quarter teams in the NBA. All season long. Their last game, they scored 32 in the fourth quarter and put away their opponent. Well, didn't happen last night. They just folded. They folded. Bad call. And that's one thing about the podcast, Straight Up Sports Betting with Tony George. We're going to tell it like it is. We don't pull any punches. I never have to get up and look myself in the mirror and wonder what yesterday's story was. Because it's a win or a loss, and it's documented over at Docs on a daily basis. Just go to Expert Picks over there, pull down whatever sport you want to check me out in. There's yesterday's result, pick, and write-up from that game. 100% transparent. Just didn't have a good day yesterday. Had an undefeated day the day before. Hit and miss. So it'll be a little more consistent. But nonetheless, interesting that now Golden State went from -160 to a plus number on the futures to win it all. Might be a little bit overreaction by odds makers off a loss like that, but I still think there's some value with Golden State. I still think they win the series. For what it's worth, added free play. Nonetheless, we have today over at the website, we have a doubleheader in Major League Baseball. We have a 4-unit best bet, both in the NHL, 12-5 run, and the WNBA, well over, 64% year-to-date. Gave you a free play yesterday on the over in that Aces game I went to last night. Yeah. That being said, don't forget, July 12th, we're launching the Straight Up Sports Betting Podcast with Tony George. It's going to be a honest review. Big personalities, unfiltered to a certain degree. Not going to be dropping F-bombs every other word and all that, but unfiltered, raw, sarcastic, satirical look at sports betting world. A lot of mainstream stuff blended in. Going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. Hope you all sign up. We'll give you more information as it approaches. We're hoping to live stream on YouTube, depending on the content. We got to be careful, in terms of family entertainment. But it will definitely be streamed on Twitter, Facebook, over at Facebook, Tony George Sports follow page over there, fan page, whatever you want to call it, and LinkedIn. So we'll definitely be live streaming on those 3 platforms, potentially YouTube as well. So be sure and stay tuned for more updates on that. Have a great Friday. Booyah.